Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter number 10 and text number 8. This is about the opulence of the Absolute. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Aham, I, sarvasya, of all, prabhavaha, the source of generation, mattaha, from me, sarvam, everything, pravartate, emanates, iti, thus, matva, knowing, bhajante, become devoted, mam, unto me, buddha, the learned, bhava samanvitaha, with great attention. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. A learned scholar who has studied the Vedas perfectly and has information from the authorities like Lord Chaitanya and who knows how to apply these teachings can understand that Krishna is the origin of everything in both material and spiritual worlds. And because he knows this perfectly, he becomes firmly fixed in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. He can never be deviated by any amount of nonsensical commentaries by fools. All Vedic literature agrees that Krishna is the source of Brahma, Shiva and all other demigods. In the Atharva Veda, Gopal Tapani Upanishad, first canto, 24th chapter, 24th verse, first chapter, 24th verse, it is said, Yo Brahmanam Atharva, Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedamscha Gopayati Sma Krishna. It was Krishna who in the beginning instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. Then again the Narayana Upanishad first verse says, Atha Purusho Ha Vai Narayano Kamayata Prajaha Srijate. Then the Supreme Personality of Narayan desired to create living entities. The Upanishad continues, Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Prajapati Prajayate, Narayanat Indra Jayate, Narayanat Astav Vasavo Jayante, Narayanat Ekadasha Rudra Jayante, Narayanat Dvadasha Aditya. From Narayan, Brahma is born, and from Narayan, the patriarchs who are also born, and from Narayan, Indra is born, and from Narayan, the 8 Vasus are born, from Narayan, 11 Rudras are born, and from Narayan, the 12 Adityas are born. This Narayan is an expansion of Krishna. It is said in the same Vedas, Brahmanya Devaki Putraha, the son of Devaki, Krishna, is the Supreme Personality. Narayana Upanishad 4. Then it is said, Eko vai Narayana asinna brahmana ishana napi nagni samau neme dvai Aprithvi na nakshatrani na surya. In the beginning of the creation, there was only the Supreme Personality, Narayan, and there was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no stars in the sky, no sun. This is Maha-Upanishad, first canto, first chapter, second verse. And in Maha-Upanishad, it is also said that Lord Shiva was born from the forehead of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the Vedas say that it is the Supreme Lord, the creator of Brahma and Shiva, who is to be worshipped. In the Moksha Dharma, Krishna also says, Prajapatim cha rudram chapi aham eva srijamya vai tau hi mam na vijanito mama maya vimohito. The patriarchs Shiva and others are created by me, though they do not know that they are created by me because they are deluded by my illusory energy. In the Varaha Purana, it is also said, Narayano paro devas tasmai jatas chaturmukha tasmad rudro bhavad devah sa sarva jnatam gataha. Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him Brahma was born, and from whom Shiva was born. Lord Krishna is the source of all generations, and he is called the most efficient cause of everything. He says, because everything is born of me, I am the original source of all. Everything is under me. No one is above me. There is no supreme controller other than Krishna. One who understands Krishna in such a way from the bona fide spiritual master, with the references from the Vedic literature, engages in all his energy in Krishna consciousness and become a truly learned man. In the comparison to him, all others who do not know Krishna properly are but fools. Only a fool would consider Krishna to be ordinary man. A Krishna conscious person should not be bewildered by fools. He should avoid all unauthorized commentaries and interpretation on Bhagavad-Gita and proceed in Krishna consciousness with determination and firmness. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militanyena Tasmai Sri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Shri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanta. All the source of all different kinds of opulence is Lord Krishna. So all 6 opulences are supposed to be described here. The opulences started from creating living entities in order to populate the world, but the purpose behind population is that Lord Krishna wanted his separated part and parcels, eternally separated part and parcels, to fulfill their desires. So, from the Pradhan Prakriti, he created 24 elements and put the soul or the jiva in it. And then gave Brahma the work to put up a particular kind of bodily structures so he can fulfill those desires. In a given time space, the creation has been continued this way, with the provision of the living entities to fulfill their desires. So, Krishna has to create. Krishna has to create. Now, creation or the Prakriti which is created has been said to be eternal. One of the elements, eternal. The jiva eternal, the super soul is eternal, the time is eternal, Prakriti is eternal, only the karma is not eternal. But karma is the Shakti which is sum total of the Brahman Shakti, Parasya Brahmano Shakti, that is being acting. So, in order to create that fulfills the desire of all the living entity under the plan of Lord Krishna, opulences are very important. If there is no opulence, there is no attraction. Fulfillment of the desire is based on attraction towards the opulence. All right? Now, Krishna has all the opulence in full because he created all the opulences and they are his. They are his. So, how to give this credit of creation, sustenance and dissolution to Lord Shri Krishna as the ultimate cause of all causes? We must see where is the cause and where is the effect. So, relative situations to be understood, cause and effect. The material creation has cause and effect. Creation has a cause and the effects are there. So, one cannot otherwise become envious of Lord Krishna without not being attracted by his opulences. Opulences are so attractive that it makes the jiva come into the clutches of his Maya Shakti, and then the enviousness becomes manifest. So, when we see that an independent, though minute, that desire is in everyone, and in more or less degree we remain envious of Lord Krishna, and we want to imitate. Even in Christianity, in imitation of God is the root cause of our remaining in material situation. Imitation. Why do we imitate? We don't have it. What is the imitation? Jewelry. Why imitation? Because you can't afford, but you want to enjoy. So that it is a subtle envious principle. Subtle envious principle. So animosity need to be straightened up. It should be eliminated. Then and then we can understand Krishna in his full glory. Enviousness has to be eliminated. Then and then we become Buddha Bhava Samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Is it easy to believe and take it for granted that Krishna is the cause of all causes? Most of the people do not understand what is cause of all causes. A studious person can dwell into different aspects of this material creation, and for everything that has been created has a cause. But Krishna doesn't have cause. Because natachasya karanam karanam cha vidyate. For him there is no karan and karan. Karan means cause and karan means something to do for a fulfillment of his desire. He doesn't have. He is the proprietor of everything. When he says aham sarvasya prabhavo, do you think he cannot say that bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram? The claim has to be continued. For those who don't believe, then they have to be challenged. So, a devotee is supposed to be Buddha Bhava Samanvita. He should worship Lord Shri Krishna with full understanding about this majesty of this opulence. Opulence are majestic. All right? Majesty is only coming if there is opulence behind it. The kings, they were storing so much wealth because the wealth was opulence for them. They were glorified because they were so chivalrous and victorious. So they were honored. Naradev, just like the demigod amongst the human. And still in some of the Hindu countries like Nepal and even in Thailand, Naradev is being worshipped. So the opulences are of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada talks about the beginning of creation. The living entities have to be created, not other Prakriti. Even though all the ingredients of the creation is subsequent, not prior. When Brahma was created as the first living entity, there was total darkness, ignorance. So Surya, Chandra and others were created in the formation of Virata Rupa. But at the same time, Krishna is the original source of all the subsequent creation that is taking place. So Prabhupada quotes the supremacy of Lord Shri Krishna accepted by the Vedic authorities and Vedas themselves. He cites this particular verses that we read, and the foremost verse is that in Gopal Tapani Upanishad of Atharva Veda, it is said, Yo Brahmananam Vidhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedamscha Gopayati Sma Krishna. It was Krishna who in the beginning instructed Brahma in the Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. So then Upanishads and others are concentrating on the subsequent creation through the agency called Narayan, and attributes this Krishna's expansion as Narayan to be the cause. The tattva remains the same, but the personality are descending in order to further create. Creation actually subsequently takes place in 4 stages. And Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, it will be described. The first creation by Lord Shri Krishna, the Adi Narayan or Mahavishnu, what you call, that he creates 24 elements. And from the combination and permutation of the 3 elements with the 3 modes of material nature, Brahma does the secondary creation. The Devatas also perform the creative activity, that is the tertiary creation, and the human beings are also restructuring, reusing all these opulences and create, that is of 4th order. Right? In this way, creations are there as the perpetuating the process by which all the living entities can fulfill their desires. But they are not Buddhas. By fulfilling their desire, they get into the forgetfulness because of the interactions of the 3 modes of material nature. So when Krishna has to instruct and authoritatively state that he has created, it is he, and everybody has to pay attention to worship him because he is the cause of all causes. So that is reiterated in Bhagavad-Gita in front of Arjuna in order to give us again the instructions that we are habituated to forget. The mode of ignorance makes us forget. And in Kali Yuga, other modes are not that much prominent than ignorance. Right? So, but somehow or another, by the mercy of the Lord and understanding this truth through the bona fide disciplic succession with the authoritative one, and by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alone, in this particular age and time, person can become Buddha Bhava. Prabhupada writes, that a learned scholar who has studied the Vedas perfectly and has information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya and who knows how to apply these teachings can understand that Krishna is the origin of everything in both material and spiritual worlds. And because he knows this perfectly, he becomes firmly fixed in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So, knowledge is required, then the application is coming. So, in this way, this principle of creation, which is impelled by the opulence that we generally want to imitate, has been going. It is not that Krishna has given us opportunity to imitate him, to play the role of Krishna here. No, to fulfill our desires. Imitation is an envious reflection of very ideal activities. With that, we tend to forget the purpose of it. So, the imitative aspect is called anukaran. Anukaran, Anusharan and Anucharan. These are the three words. Anukaran means imitation. Anusharan means because he has taken shelter, I would like to take shelter, knowingly. Right? Then Anucharan means following in the footsteps of Mahajanoyana Gatasya Pantha. Then and then the secret will be revealed. We need to understand that you can't compete with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can't fight against him. He is all victorious. Because energy is his and he commands the energies. Parasha Shaktir Vividhiya Sruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. He doesn't have to even order his energy that now you work. No, the energies are simultaneously, in tune with his desires. A desire has to express. We are fulfilling desire by our expressions. We have to express first. Oh, I want to eat ice cream. And that too with the resistance of the past. It's cold. Don't eat ice cream. All the living entities are simply getting like shuttling, in the space of the desires. Desires can be fulfilled with following in the Vedic authority. Then and then it is. That's why the Vedas have been written. Vishaya Veda. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Vishaya, vish means poison. Why it is poisonous? Because it is not going to do any welfare for you. Rather it will take you. Take your entire life even. Vishaya, Vishaya. Every subject, Vishaya means subject, but it is what we call the Vishaya and Vastu. These two things are present in the material world for fulfilling the desires. What is the subject and what is the object? Vishaya means subject, right? But Visha, there is a lot of ignorance, lot of destructive principle is there in Vishaya. In the Prabhupada said in the ancient age, there was a practice in the war that to send a beautiful girl as Vishaya to poison the opposite party leader, the politics, dirty politics they say, Vishaya. entice and kill him. So in this way, political victory will be there. But visha means poison. And all the vishayas, they are termed as bhoga. Yehi sansparshaja bhoga. All the vishayas are coming in the contact of our five senses. Dukkha yonaya evate. They are the sources of miseries. So therefore, adyantavanta kaunteya nate ramateshu buddha. They are of originating and also disappearing nature. They are coming and going. They are not staying. These vishayas or the bhogas are called fleeting senses enjoyment. Fleeting sense enjoyment. They are not steady. But under the imitation or envious mentality, people become succumb to the imposition of mode of ignorance. So in this way, they cannot understand the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even they cannot understand Atma Tattva, the truth about His being and the Supreme Being. They cannot. Actually, the Vishayas are imposing ignorance on the soul that it forgets. So, otherwise, the subject matter for living entity, even in fulfilling his own desires in this material world, for which it has been created, is to be successful by worshipping Lord Shri Krishna. Everything will be fulfilled. Right? So, because he is the origin, aham sarvasya prabhavo, you may argue that, well, the pleasure and pain both are originating from him. Pleasure and pain, they are also originating from him. Even knowledge and ignorance, both are originating from him. Aham sarvasya prabho. So, it's your fault, Krishna, not mine. Can you escape? Can you escape? You can't escape. Why? We are in the jurisdiction of Mahamaya. And she makes us forget. We can't come out. Only if we worship the Supreme Lord without enviousness, then we have chance to come out. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samana. Buddha bhav. Matva, one should understand, at least theoretically accept that Krishna is the source of everything. Remove the enviousness, then you will be able to realize that in Kali Yuga he is easily available through chanting his holy name and experience it. You don't have faith in chanting the holy name, then the hard way is to go through the Vedic anushthanas. Read the Vedas, but you don't have time. The Vedas are vast. You are unlucky, an idiot. So, what do you need? The easiest approach is to accept a bona fide scripture, a bona fide teacher, a bona fide, what we call, institution. Right? And come under bona fide disciplic succession. That is the easiest way. One time, in early days, in I think it was in New York, that somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, how many disciples do you have? Well, I want to know, greater the number, I'll be more enthused. Prabhupada said, there are so many airlines, some are very well known and others are also. But what do you have to see there? If they are bona fide airlines, purchase a ticket and get in the flight. Then you will go to the destination. Are you going to ask the airline how many passengers have booked? And you will choose the airline on that basis? Now, we have to see the bona fideness. So many people have so many following, millions of followings. All right? You haven't seen big pandals. We have one in Mathura, and he is completely agnostic and Mayavadi, and yet so many followers. You can't follow because there are so many followings. Those who do not have intelligence, Buddha Bhav, they will go. Right? Jai Gurudev Naam Paramatma ka. Lekin kya naam? No, we won't say. Jai Gurudev Bula Karo. Naam Paramatma. Paramatma ka naam Gurudev. So, the important thing is that the bona fideness is required. And bona fideness is coming down from the acceptance of Lord Shri Krishna's words and their expansions, who have come under, because they have been produced to start the bona fideness. If Krishna is creating through his mind such personalities like four Kumaras, Brahma, or even Rudras, do you think they are useless, simply some statue, an allegorical understanding? No. They know Krishna. Otherwise, why would Krishna has to produce through mental conception? And this methodology Brahma adopted. The ultimate creator is Krishna. Right? So in his glory, and following in his footsteps, by becoming a servant and beg his energy, and you can do. That is devotional service. And all the Prajapatis, here Prajapatis are called as patriarchs. They are all Prajapatis. They were created by subsequent mental conception of Brahma. Even the Manus. But what that has to do, mental conception is immaculate conception, and when we try to understand where there is simply the desire of the Lord to be fulfilled is the only aspect that can produce a living entity to perform that task. Simply to fulfill the desire of the Lord. They are created. And that doesn't require, a mother or father. Mm. So, they are establishing the authority of Lord Krishna by fully surrendering to Him, knowing the absolute truth about Krishna. First you have absolute knowledge, and then the application that makes it realized knowledge, and then you impart to others. So in this way, disciplic succession continues. So in this way, we are coming to a very important verse for accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This purpose has to be the primary, pivot for our, say, belief system or practice of Krishna consciousness. So anybody has any question? So quick. Bolo jaldi.
Thanks a lot for your so I understood this Anu Karan and Anu Charan. What is that Anu Charan?
Sharan means what? The process of taking shelter. Sharanagati. Anusharan. You have to learn through Bhaktivinoda Thakur's explanation of how to take Sharanagati. This is your life mission. Anusharan. Don't imitate. Anukaran. But those who have taken shelter, you follow. Methodology is given, but somebody has to be example too. So follow. So in this way, this distinction of the meaning of the word, which resound like same, is there. Any other question?
We are envious of Krishna. I need some more
Explanation. You need to convince yourself. Yes.
How I am envious and how can I get rid of it?
All right. We have come to the material world, right? Because we have created a separate desire which is coming out of envy to Lord Krishna. And Krishna declares that Ichha dvesa samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sargayanti parantam. Without any exception, everybody fell into the delusion of duality by misusing their minute independence of Lord Shri Krishna has given, but misuse to create a separate desire, which was all quite parallel to call enviousness. Otherwise, why there is a separate desire? In our devotional life, we can't express a separate desire. Krishna is asking, and you are duty bound to fulfill it. That's simple. And all your desires will be fulfilled. That is the nature. That's the truth, and we should imbibe. Otherwise, we were one with Him. How come a part and parcel can be ever separated? But we are called eternally separated. Eternally separated. Eternally separated can become nityabaddha or by understanding they can become Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated. Only eternally liberated can go back home by performing pure devotional service. In pure devotional service, there is no tinge of enviousness or separate desire ever to exist. The way we fell, we have to go back. Same way we have to accept. It's not that, oh, we came via. No. You fell straight, so you can go straight. There are so many other methodologies to go via. No, Prabhupada said, you fail straight, so go straight. Easy, in Kali Yuga. Not one with Krishna.
No, we were with Krishna.
With Krishna.
Yes. So we were in the spiritual world of the Golok Dham.
Yeah, but we were one with Krishna. We were in the spiritual world occupied in specific devotional service.
My question is that the qualities or the qualifications to go back to Godhead is to be totally pure in the mind or whatever that is. And how did we get polluted over there? How did we this enviousness or whatever crept into us?
Krishna is the source of everything. He has given you minute independence, whether to love Him or hate Him. And that level is one portion of the, what we call Brahma Jyoti, is that portion of the spiritual world. It was not Goloka Vrindavan. Yad gatvana nivartante tad dhamam paramam mama. But we were, out of the dham, playing our own games, and we fell.
So we are one with Krishna, right? We are in the dham or something else.
We were in spiritual world. That is impersonal. Impersonal region is having an envious entry. All the jnanis go to impersonal realization, and they don't accept Krishna as a personality. Means they are envious of Krishna. So in Brahma Jyoti level, where the jiva and the particles which are not conscious even. So conscious particle Chetkan and Achitkan, both are coming from that Brahman platform. Chitkan and we are Chitkan, but consciousness have taken up some envy. So in Brahma Jyoti there is no adherence, no sustenance, so we have to fall. Even today, those who go through the process of this yoga and merge into Brahmalin avastha, but that Bhagavatam says that is due to dirty intelligence. Dirty intelligence. And because they have not taken the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, from where the Brahma Jyoti emerges, they fall. So from Brahma Jyoti level, it is easy to fall. From Vaikuntha level, you may fall with knowing what Lord Krishna wants. And so Jay and Vijay, they also fell, but actually they did not fall from the spiritual platform. They enacted just to show us the example how enviousness with Krishna can be so expensive, so much disastrous, right? So they were playing the roles, but nonetheless, you can't compete today with Jai Vijay playing the roles of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and Shishupal and Dantavakra, or Jagai and Madhai. Right? They came 3 times to explain in 3 different millennium. And during Kali Yuga, they took a special role to make us understand. Nityanand Prabhu said, Mahaprabhu, don't kill them. Everyone in Kali Yuga are like Jagai and Madhai. You have come to deliver them through the holy name of the Lord. Rather, if you kill with your Sudarshan Chakra, you can kill, but that is not the purpose. So Nityanand Prabhu was reminding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the offense Madhai did it, right? So the understanding is that because Jai and Vijay came to play the part of this, they are eternally liberated in service of the Lord, but they came down with the desire, a separate, but the desire was challenging, and they did very challenging job. But nonetheless, because Krishna is the Supreme, he took incarnations of, Varaha avatar and Nrsimha avatar to finish them both. And Lord Ramchandra to kill that Ravan and Kumbhakarna also. And then in Kali Yuga, in Dwapar Yuga, Kansa, Shishupal, Dantavakra, all these demons, they were there. And in Kali Yuga, there is no killing. It's a different methodology. Kill their ignorance by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So in the jiva falls off from the spiritual platform at the level of Brahmajyoti. In Vaikuntha, they may come to exhibit the desires of the Lord through becoming some challenging opponent. But in Goloka Vrindavan, there is no possibility of falling off. If the Lord is appearing himself in one kalpa of one day of Brahma, then he will invite everybody to come down. Right? But that is not falling because Krishna comes with his dham. So nobody goes out of that. They play different roles according to different situations. Like Bhishma Pitama, he was a Jiva Tattva Vasu. There are 8 Vasus and chief of the Vasu. And he had to play how devotional service in Shaurya Ras can be displayed. So that is not falling. They are elevated demigods. They took part in Krishna Lila. So that is not falling. Falling is Ichha Dvesa Samuthena Dvanda Mohena Bharata. Sarva Bhutani Sammoham Sargayanti Para. They were not in Sammoha. Bhishma Pitama was not in Sammoha. They played the role in such a way that you may calculate this way or that way, but the Shastra doesn't say. They are pure devotees. Devotional service in Gauna Ras, Shaurya Ras is Gauna Ras, not Mukhya. So, how devotional service has to be performed, so you go back home, back to Godhead. Do you want to become Vasu? Then you can, but you have to go to Bhishma Pitama.
Suppose someone is doing devotional service for ISKCON, he does not make it to Vrindavan. Probably he gets to the Swarga or Vaikuntha, like you said. Like he makes it to the Swarga, the heavens, or the Vaikuntha. Or maybe, like you just mentioned, there are chances of falling from the Vaikuntha also. So I'm saying, suppose in this life...
That is not falling. That is not falling. If you come to fulfill the desire of the Lord and show some exemplary aspect of the religious truth, then that is not falling. You know, ordinary people who are living in imitation of the Lord, they are fallen. Hare Krishna.
I was asking, if someone goes to Vaikuntha, and from Vaikuntha by doing devotional service can move to Vrindavan?
No. You can go to Vaikuntha on 4 aspects of liberation. It's your desire, and Krishna will fulfill. Who can go Golok Vrindavan? If you want to fulfill Krishna's desire, not yours. Then you go to Golok Vrindavan. In Vaikuntha, 4 kinds of liberations are available. Right? Samipya, Sarupya, Shastri, and Salokya. All 4. Impersonalists want Sayujya Mukti, but it's so temporary. They think it is merged, that they are merged. Now they fall off. So that level is dangerous. The Jnanis think that they will merge in oneness of the Absolute, which is partially realized in Brahma realization, Brahman realization. They fall. That is Bhagavatam verdict. Yenyer arvindaksha vimuktamanina tai astabhava avishuddha buddhaya aruhya kruchena parama padam tata patantiyadha anadad yushmadangraya. The Supreme Brahman is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And if anyone neglects his the shelter of his lotus feet, he falls off. You know, still you have something. You will take time, but concentrate on this. Any other question? If you are engaged in such services, in Krishna consciousness, such services are needed, say for running the institute, all right? Outreach programs and others are there. But those who are having a know-how or they have studied, we can utilize in Krishna's service, institution's service, for furthering the glorification of Srila Prabhupada. All right? That is also devotional service. But if you are cultivating some inner methodology for becoming a confidential servant, then become confidential servant of the Guru, and then learn that technique. Don't jump over Krishna. Like that. So, our devotional service has to be rendered. Devotional service does not have that kind of gradation. Devotional service is counted, there are 9 processes, right? There's no 10th process. But here, Prabhupada's desire of utility is the principle. That's why you are being engaged in that kind of service which will be helping Srila Prabhupada's institution to propagate the healthy, propagate healthy, the purposes, the 7 purposes of Srila Prabhupada. Like that. But personally, when you think of the internal development, then you have to be patient rather than jumping off, because it's an internal bhajan. Internal bhajan can be done only after chanting purely, not before that. So we may have desired to have some confidential devotional service as a desire, but we should not promote it, because it may not be intellectually supported at this present. It may be mentally supported, but we can't go mental. We have to Buddha Bhava Samanvita. Buddha Bhava means intelligent. Always guide our progress in devotional service through Krishna conscious intelligence. It cannot progress through mental titillations. So that's the process Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought. It's not a sentimental movement. It's very intelligent. And because to spread all over the world, the historical progress is there. And it fulfills the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the previous acharyas. So, what is the difference when we see such manifestation like say TOVP? That has been a predicted phenomena. It has been predicted. And if ISKCON is participating and taking the glory, it's not out of, devotional service. Anyway, the desire can be there, but we have to become very cautious. Is it an intelligent desire or a mental desire? Yes, very good question. That part is then. Isn't it intelligence superior than mental activities? Right? So even though if we desire, but do we have any scrutinizing factor whether we are desiring right or wrong? In which stage we are and how far we, are we on the state of pure chanting? Or we have a little lukewarm situation, yet we desire. Then we can easily become sahajiya if we resort to the mental. Most of the so-called devotees that come during the holy time, they want to play with Bhakti Bihari. Huh? They want to play holy with Bhakti Bihari. And who plays holy? And it means you want to assume yourself to be at that level. So the qualification should be first deserve and then desire. These are the teachings. First deserve and then desire. If we desire without reservation, then we will be frustrated. It is said by Haridas Thakur, he explains in Harinam Chintamani, those who go to bhava stage, and Raganuga Bhakti is to express the bhava, right? But those who want to perform bhava bhakti, the principle is valid, but qualification is not valid. Why? Because they are not free, they are not liberated. They want to continue playing in the muck of Maya as well as show bhava bhakti. They will never have a steady bhav. The sthai bhav will be interrupted by the attack of Maya all the time. So not even the ages, yuga, it will never come. So it becomes a show, a farce, and it misleads the people. They are foolish. So internal purification is coming through chanting purely Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then the Guru will guide. Guru Tattva will guide. Now, how to perform the internal bhajan. And there is a whole pranali. It is much more difficult than the Vidhi Bhakti of Rupa Goswami, because you are going on a higher stage. You cannot practice the way you have been practicing up till now. It's a totally different system, and you have to be showing those symptoms, and according to that, Guru will put up a trial and error methodology to hook up with internal servitor of Lord Shri Krishna. We have to stand in line. So there are specifics, and one can only know through the mercy of Guru, encouraged by the Guru. It's not without Guru that you can jump up on Raganaga Bhakti. No. Many people tried to go to Radha Kund for performing Raganaga Bhakti, and they are nowhere. It's only dragged by some sahajiya vritti, false. Oh, we have taken so much time. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.